Greetings fellow ukuleleans, Jeff Weinberger coming at you here with a new tutorial. Today I'd like to continue our discussion, our very long discussion, but this stuff's important, of how to practice the ukulele. And today's going to be a very general sort of thing. I'm going to talk about the elements of music rather than get into any one specific technique or any one specific area. I'm going to talk about all the areas that you should be practicing. And so the elements of music, simply put, are the most important things in music that kind of make music catchy and make music memorable and make music something we want to hear over and over. And one of those elements is going to be melody. So the melody to a song, the part that you sing, the part that you hum, the part that you whistle, even if it's an instrumental melody, it's got to be catchy, it's got to be nice, it's got to be well executed, have a nice tone, you've got to get a good sound out of your instrument, and that's called timbre. That's another element of music, timbre, the thing that makes your instrument unique. Ukulele has a very different timbre from, say, tuba. And tenor ukulele has a very different timbre than, say, baritone ukulele or a soprano ukulele. Ukulele made of mahogany, such as this one, has a very different timbre from a ukulele made of koa or made of sapele or mango or some of the other tone woods. So anyway, timbre, that's an element of music. You can't really practice that, but you can practice your tone, you can practice your touch, you know, how you approach the instrument, how your thumb strikes the string, how your fingers strike the string or a pick, whether you play legato, whether you play staccato, articulation, all that sort of stuff goes into timbre. Do you play really hard? Do you play gently? All that stuff, and that has to do with dynamics. So there's articulation, the long and short of notes. There's dynamics, the loud and soft of notes and chords, etc. Timbre, the qualities of your instrument, tone. And so there's all these different elements, melody being the most important. That for humans is pretty much the thing that draws us into music. But I would say a very close second, or possibly even equal, and in some types of music surpasses it, is rhythm. The beat, the pulse, the feel, the groove, that stuff, that is what really moves us. And in some music, like Brazilian samba music, or hip-hop, or say tango, or other types of music, maybe Romanian folk music, rhythm is super important. There's some very strong, distinctive rhythms. And sometimes you don't need much melody, you don't need many chords. A lot of rap songs only have like 2 or 3 chords at most. And some of them have not a lot of melody, not a lot of people singing and playing melodies, but just the beat and then the rhymes on top of the beat. And then sounds, you know, sampled sounds that are edited and chopped up and put in there as a collage, as kind of a sound design thing. So hip hop's really interesting in that it doesn't rely on melody much, but still somehow it gets through. And that's mostly because of rhythm. And then there's other elements besides melody and rhythm. You have harmony, and that I would say is the other big three. You have melody being probably king, and then rhythm a second, maybe close second behind it, although more dominant in some music, and then finally harmony. That's real important, and those are chords. Harmony is whenever you take a note and combine it with another note. 2 people singing in harmony, McCartney and Lennon, Simon and Garfunkel, the Everly Brothers, etc. Harmony, the Andrews Sisters, you name it, the Mormon Tabernacle Choir, harmony. It can be a couple notes, it can be 3-note harmony, 4-note harmony, all the way up to like a big huge choir or a 80-piece orchestra, etc. So notes combined together make harmony. And we love harmony. It tickles our ears. Harmony wasn't really an element of music as much in the earliest music, melody and rhythm were. But then as instruments developed more and our ideas about music developed throughout the centuries and throughout the eons and the different eras that we have, then harmony became more important. And now in the 21st century, harmony is really a key element of music. People just love chords. Even though our pop music doesn't have so many chords in it like it did perhaps in the 50s, 60s, 70s, there's still chords in music. It's just they're not as fancy. People use very plain chords, usually 4 of them. There's so many 4-chord songs today. We've discussed that in other videos about the 4-chord song and the virtues of it, and also the blandness of it if it's overused. So harmony, that's an important thing. So you're probably asking yourself, well, this is about how to practice ukulele. This guy's just lecturing about the elements of music. This isn't a college course, you know. So when's he going to get to how do we practice this stuff? Well, that's right now. Let's get into it. So how do you practice melody? You want to learn scales. You want to get organized and really get the notes of the ukulele so you can play them in succession to make melodies or to perform other people's melodies. Start with an easy one like C major. Or even easier, C major pentatonic. You can practically hear melodies in that. Just the scales alone kind of indicate melody. Little Liza Jane, that old American folk tune, that has the C major pentatonic scale, or any major pentatonic scale as its basis. So that's kind of cool. That's a really good example of melody and a good example of the use of scales. So how to practice? Practice your scales. Practice C major, practice D major, E major, all the majors, and then do the minors. Do D minor, E minor, F sharp minor,